Hello and welcome to your home practice from my home to yours. We're going to be starting in Virasana, so sitting on our shins. I definitely recommend at least one block, ideally two for this practice. If you don't have that, water bottles, books, anything like that would be great just for some support underneath your hands. So let's begin. Allowing yourself to reach for the props that you may need. I'll be taking a block, taking it on the widest setting, and then sitting on it with my shins framing it. And then when you land here, bringing your hands to your rib cage. Maybe closing your eyes. And underneath your hands, feeling the rib cage with your inhale, lift and open. And then pulling in as you exhale. Just before we move, honoring this body, this changing body, this body that was not just life to your, not just a home to your life, but also a home to your babies. So remembering how incredible that is. And if this body, your practice feels different, just go easy. Take your time, remembering this is a process that your body is healing, that it's just important to move, to reconnect, and to not rush it. As you're breathing here in the rib cage is lifting and opening, you find your inhale. And as you exhale, feel your diaphragm contract. Maybe the pelvic floor lifts up. Inhale, everything's expanding, your diaphragm's expanding, your pelvic floor is relaxing. And then as you exhale, everything is pulling up and pulling in. 2 more times. Good. On your next inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Cactus your arms. 2 more times, lifting the arms up, cactusing your arms. Giving the shoulders a little bit of love, arms reach. Cactus your arms. Good. Release the hands down towards the floor. Get the block out of your way for now, placing it towards the top of your mat. And then we'll come to hands and knees. And then to child's pose. If you need a pillow underneath your chest, maybe, for example, you're welcome to support yourself however feels useful. If you feel like your hips are hanging a little too much and you want to place some support here as well, you are most welcome to. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, side bend to the right. Hands crawl over to the right edge of the mat, finding the left side body lengthening. Patience with this body. Hands walking through center. And then over to the left. Walking my hands back through center, scooching any props out of your way, keeping the blocks at the top of the mat. And then tucking your toes. An option to lift up into downward facing dog, hips pulling up and back. Option to be in polar bear pose, where the forearms are down and the knees are down. Option for your resting shape to be in puppy pose, arms long, forehead resting on the mat. Completely up to you. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. If you are in puppy pose or in polar bear pose, press into the hands. Tuck the toes, lift one forward, and then the other just meeting at the top of the mat. All right. Bring the blocks out in front of you, little bend in your knees. On your next breath in, with your feet about hips width distance apart, take a half lift. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Press into your feet, reach the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, palms together through your heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Hands to blocks, half lift. Fold with your exhale. Stand up, reach the arms. Hold. Connecting to your breath, half lift. Forward fold. One more time like this. Stand up, reach the arms. Palms travel through your heart, and you fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Press into your feet, reach the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, palms together at your heart. Ground down through your left foot and pull your right knee into your chest. Take an inhale, and with a little bend in your left knee, extend the right leg back behind you, warrior three. It can look like this. It can look like this. If it's too much to have your hands at your heart, place them on blocks. And breathe. Take a full breath in. Bend into your left knee, land the right toes. High lunge. Arms reach up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. Warrior two, back heel turns down. Give yourself space between your feet. Nice bend in your front knee, pressing the left knee to the left. Inhale. And exhale. Arms reach up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, cactus your arms. Arms up. Cactus your arms. Take up space here. Reach the arms. Cactus your arms. One more time. Gorgeous. Arms to a T. Lengthen out your left leg. You could take your right hand to your right hip and turn it to face forward a little bit. As you do this, reach the left hand forward and then down. Maybe you reach for one of your blocks. I really love using a block in triangle pose under my left hand. Maybe it feels nice to keep the right hand on the right hip. You could choose to do that. Or you could reach the right arm up to the sky. Or maybe a half bind behind your back could feel nice. Allowing the shoulders, the chest to open. And with this back foot, it could be parallel to the back of the mat, or it could be slightly pigeon-toed. And when you're there, you could really press that foot down and back. The back leg is pressing down and towards the back edge of your mat. Maybe that gives you a little more stretch in the side body. even in the front of the hip. That's where I'm feeling it. Okay. Reach the right arm up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, warrior two, bend the front knee, maybe place the left block back where in its place, the front block, whichever one you grabbed. High lunge, pivot the right heel over the ball of the foot. Take a breath in. Mountain pose, right foot next to your left, palms together at your heart. Release them by your side. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, palms to your heart, left knee to your chest. Take an inhale. Start to bend into your right knee. I'm just going to flip myself around so you can see me. And extend the leg back for warrior three. For some reason, balance on this right leg is always a little more challenging for me. Palms can be at your heart. Hands could be on the floor. There's a little bend in the right knee, maybe a big bend. One more breath in. Bend into the right knee, land your left toes. High lunge. Warrior two. Finding your feet here. Reaching the arms up. Cactus your arms. Arms sweep out and up. Cactus your arm. Keep going. Last time. Arms go wide. Right leg goes straight. Left hand to left hip. Turn the hip forward. As that happens, the left toes might turn in a little bit. That's great. Reach the right arm forward and then down to a block or the floor or a triangle. Left hand on your hip. Left arm up. Left hand behind your back. All up to you. So I'm sure you have to make a lot of decisions all day long. And maybe to have choices in yoga can feel annoying to have to make more decisions. Perhaps you can think of it as a chance to get in touch with yourself and your needs alone. What feels best for me and my body? And maybe you have a little one crawling around underneath you. Just in this moment, maybe just that small, seemingly small decision of how do I want to place my arm? What feels best? Can just be a moment in time that you can connect to you. Take a full breath in. Warrior two. High lunge. Face the top of your mat. Mountain pose. Take a breath in. Hands released by your sides. Arms reach up. Fold with your exhale. Half lift, maybe hands to blocks. And as you exhale, step one knee back and then the other. Sit your hips back towards your heels and swing the legs out in front of you. Coming down to your backs. Knees are bent. Taking your hands to the front of your hips. And on your inhale, see if you can think about the top points of your pelvis tipping towards your knees, towards your thighs. You feel a little space behind your low back. And then as you exhale, feel for a tuck of the tailbone, pressing the back into the floor, tops of your hip points pulling back. This is a relaxing moment, but you could think of this as like twerking laying down. letting your pelvic bowl tip forward and pull back. Just a little rocking. Nice. And just pause for a moment and decide before we move into rest. We'll take a happy baby, but decide how do you want to rest? And if you don't have time, maybe before you move on to whatever other responsibilities you have today, you can just take a moment, hand over the heart, maybe hand over your belly, your womb space. And you could just greet yourself with a deep reverence and just say thank you. If you do have time for rest, you might choose to lean a little bit to the side, press yourself up, and support yourself in your resting shape. So I have blocks that I could use, but I also have pillows, which I think are a really nice option. You can just line them up if you need, if you have shorter ones like I do, or smaller ones, or if you have a long one like a bed pillow, that will work. You can place your blanket, if you'd like, on top, just a little bit of like a makeshift bolster. Now remember, we're not leaning back like this, but we're laying to our side, coming onto our forearm, and then rolling onto our back. Letting the sit bones rest on the floor, the back be supported. And then if you'd like, arms can come out. You could just let this be a beautiful heart-opening space. Maybe you have a baby resting on your belly, on your chest. And you just allow yourself to rest here as long as you need. And when you are complete with your rest, you'll just roll to one side off of your bolsters or your support, makeshift bolsters. Press your hands into the floor and come back to a seat. Thank you for taking the time to practice. See you next time.